Hi, my name is Mara Shepard, and this is my video presentation on Nelson Mandela, and my teacher is Ms. Pisano. The Burton Street Community Association is located in West Asheville and was established to promote the well-being of an historically African American neighborhood. There is a portrait of Nelson Mandela in their Peace Garden. Nelson Mandela was a wise visionary, a political leader, and influential civil rights activist who had a positive impact not only in his home country of South Africa, but the entire world. He explained that there was no particular day on which I said, henceforth I will devote myself to the liberation of my people. Instead, I simply found myself doing so and could not do otherwise. The apartheid system in South Africa in the 1960s allowed for racial segregation as well as economic and political discrimination against non-whites. Laws restricted socializing between races, banned non-whites in the national government, allowed for public facilities, the educational system, as well as land to be segregated.
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country.
Mandela said, if there is one lesson we can learn from the struggle against racism, it is that racism must be combated and not discreetly tolerated. He believed that people having the opportunity to live in harmony was worth fighting for, and more important than preserving his own personal safety. In 1964, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Prison provided Mandela with time to reflect, and from a situation of such constraint and limitation, allowed him to consider the most effective form of action. He said, "It is never my custom to use words lightly. If 27 years in prison have done anything to us, it was to use the silence of solitude to make us understand how precious words are and how real speech is in its impact on the way people live and die."
Well, the fact that you could sit alone and think gave us a wonderful opportunity to change ourselves, your behavior. I felt quite ashamed because I became busy with politics and with law, and I forgot that the people were very kind to me when I arrived in Johannesburg. And I said, if I ever get a chance of coming out, as I was sure I would eventually, no matter after how long, I would make up for the omissions I made.
Over the span of several years, Mandela persistently wrote letters until he was able to see the South African president and begin negotiations. In 1993, the pro-apartheid legislation was appealed. By the next year, Mandela became the first African president in a democratic election for South Africa.
I accordingly take great pleasure in announcing the election of Comrade Nelson Mandela to the post of president.
In South Africa, there is a cultural belief called Ubuntu. It can be understood as the ethics of interconnectedness between individuals and the natural environment to ensure people's well-being, dignity, and livelihoods. The concept is based on the recognition of diversity, that we are only people because of other people. Nelson Mandela is thought by many to be the personification of Ubuntu. He said, "The purpose of freedom is to create it for others." Mandela made an impact in the U.S. because in America in the 60s there were civil rights marches, boycotts, sit-ins, and arrests, which mirrored civil rights protests in South Africa. He has also influenced American politics.
I believe in Nelson Mandela's vision. I believe in a vision shared by Gandhi and King and Abraham Lincoln. I believe in a vision of equality and justice and freedom and multiracial democracy built on the premise that all people are created equal, and they're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
The Burton Street Community Association is involved in social enterprise, art, and environmental projects that were created to improve the community. These projects follow Mandela's approach for creating a better society through community action and involvement. His portrait lies in the Burton Street Community Garden because the garden is a place of collaboration, recognition, and peace.
Any questions?